Welcome to my YouTube live. I am trying to get better at getting on YouTube. I put up a YouTube earlier today talking about blood pressure. It is one of the number one questions that I get. A lot of people love when I deep dive and talk about blood pressure. So we're going to deep dive and talk about blood pressure today. Blood pressure is affects, I believe, over 80 million people. It is so high, the number that it affects, especially here in the States. So again, forgive me because I'm getting better at I'm getting absolutely better. I'm not gonna say fabulous, but I'm getting better at YouTube and how to work YouTube. So I'll be trying to get on here a little bit more in the recent weeks. But blood pressure and a lot of these issues that we are faced with are, they kind of go hand in hand. They're synonymous with each other. And a lot of it has to do with what we're eating. I put up a YouTube today talking about why a lot of people's blood pressure medication is no longer working for them. And the number one reason that is happening is because your body has adapted to that medication. And so this is where it becomes critical to have a doctor that, hey, Princess Gomez, this is where it becomes critical to have a doctor that will back you and listen to you when you're telling them that you're doing everything you need to do, if that's true, and that they need to reevaluate your care plan. I know because a lot of things because of insurance is the reason why a lot of doctors make decisions that they make related to your care plan. But you do have to advocate for yourself. And if you've been on a medication for at least 3 to 6 months and it is not bringing down your blood pressure, it is not regulating your blood sugar, it's time for them to change the care plan. And the example that I gave about like people being on a beta blocker such as metoprolol or atenolol or cavitilol, those are specifically made, the mechanism of the way the mechanism in the body, the way the medication works is you have two adrenal glands that sit above your kidneys. They secrete epinephrine, which is a stress hormone. The medication is supposed to block the epinephrine from hitting the beta cells of the heart, which makes the blood pressure go up. Now, say you ended up on this medication while you were going through a divorce, or while you were smoking, or you were eating poorly, and you stopped, you no longer have any stress like that going on. That may no longer be the right medication for you. Excuse me, guys. That may no longer be the right medication for you. You may no longer need a blood pressure medication that works on the stress hormones. You may need a blood pressure medication that works on being a calcium channel blocker. Maybe it's something going on in that area. So this is why it becomes very important to have a doctor that can sit down and explain these things to you thoroughly. You may need an ACE inhibitor, which they have found that ACE inhibitors do not work the same for most people of color as they do European ethnicity. And you can look that up. That is a proven fact. So you want to be careful with that. I've had a lot of people say, well, I've been taking, which is a medication that ends in pril. I've been taking lisinopril for a long time. I've been taking enalapril, and I did notice a little swelling, or I did notice a bad cough. Well, that's where it comes in, having a good healthcare professional that'll sit down and say, well, hey, it's been known for years now that an ACE inhibitor, that's any blood pressure medication that ends in pril, an ACE inhibitor may not be the best choice for you because you are a person of Asian, Asian race, or African race, or those ethnicities related to those races. You may not be a good fit for this particular medication because it has known to cause swelling, periorbital swelling, tongue swelling, lip swelling, not for everybody, but for some people. So this is why, yes, ethnicity does matter when it comes to medications. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but it's very important, like I said, where you can have these open conversations with your healthcare professional. And it's good, I would say, every 6 months to a year to reevaluate your care plan. Sit down and say, hey, I've been taking this medication for 6 months. Do you think we should wean down off of it? Do you think it's something, if it's not this is the way I look at it. If it's not a life-saving medication, then why aren't we talking about how to wean off of it? If it's something that can possibly be weaned off of, let's put a care plan together to start the steps to wean off of the blood pressure medication, wean off of the blood sugar medication. If you have, if you have type 2. Type 1, of course, that's lifelong. That's juvenile diabetes. That's a lifelong, where you have to take insulin because your pancreas is not secreting the correct amount of insulin for your body to function and survive. But type 2 diabetes is usually, not always, usually caused by a sedentary lifestyle. There is no such thing as diabetes running in the family. I want you guys to understand that. And I don't mean in the sense that my mom has it, my uncle has it, my brother has it. That's true. But that does not mean that it's hereditary. Is diabetes hereditary? From my research, no. Is high blood pressure hereditary? From my research, I'm not gonna say a solid no. It's not likely to be hereditary. There could be some cases where blood vessels are very small in your family, and it could cause your blood pressure to be a little higher or something like that. But usually it's because everybody in the family eats the same way. And that's why we all have blood pressure in our family, blood pressure issues or blood sugar issues. So when you decide to make lifestyle modifications, you said lifestyle is the same. Yep, in your family, absolutely. So when you decide to make lifestyle modifications and you decide to walk, this is another thing that I want to talk to you guys about. Walking. I know, because we're in the social media era where you'll see people doing HIIT training and running through tires and jumping over roofs. And listen. Yes, that's to get clicks and views for a lot of people. But for the most part, walking, going on a daily walk, on your lunch breaks, I try to give people realistic lifestyle modification alternatives to do. Walking on your lunch break. When you sit down and eat lunch at work, spend 15 minutes walking. Use the other 15 minutes to eat something light. None of us should be eating super heavy at work anyway, because it makes us tired. Because as your digestive system is trying to break those things down, your body is getting tired because it's working internally. So you get, they call it the itis, you get very sleepy. And so that's why you want to eat lean, light when you're at work. Go out, walk for the 15 minutes, the other 30 minutes, sit down and eat. Eat you a nice lean, salad. If you eat a lot of vegetables and fruit, you can put you some berries, some nuts, some beans, or very lean turkey, stuff like that. Salmon on the side with your salad, maybe shrimp. That's going to be suitable for your thyroid because of the iodine. So these are just a few little things that you can tweak, and you'll see a difference if you keep this up for a significant amount of time. What happens is a lot of times we're not consistent. So that's why I'm on a health journey with a lot of you guys. I started walking. I joined a place, I'm not going to name them because I'm not sponsoring them, but I joined a place where you work out in the sauna. It's like a sauna box that you get in, and you do a little bit of HIIT training on the bike and work out. Do what's best for you, but just walking daily is a great lifestyle modification. So no, you don't have to run through tires and crawl like you in the army. And listen, they do that stuff for clicks and views. The average person is not putting black stripes of paint under the eyes and crawling on the ground. The average person is not doing that on a daily basis. So I think that it's wonderful that we can have these discussions. And as a healthcare professional, I love sitting down, talking to you guys about small ways to modify. Like, let me tell you something that I do. I have no meat days, a couple of no meat days sometimes during the week. So like yesterday, I had a sweet potato. I had a sweet potato and I added date syrup, no sugar, no sugar. Date syrup. I have no sugar days as well. So the sweetener I chose was date syrup with cinnamon. Ceylon cinnamon is best. Some nuts, and I could have added pumpkin seeds on there. That's a great filling meal. And if you do have to have a little lean meat, sprinkle you a little bit of lean turkey. Get you some shredded turkey or shredded chicken and sprinkle a little of that on top. Those are just, little small tips. Oh, thank you, Ham, for passing through. Yes, Chanel, I'm about to get active with YouTube. I'm gonna get the setup and everything. I'm about to get more active with YouTube. It's time for me to, you know what I'm saying? I'm there now. So I'm learning how to work YouTube. I thank you guys for coming in. Does anybody have any questions before I go? I just wanted to drop a few jewels. I do plan to get some courses put up to kind of teach you in depth some things step by step when it comes to different health conditions that I've learned from over the years that you can do at home. This is not to replace what your doctor told you to do. This is an addition to what they tell you to do. Things within your realm that you can do at home with eating, lifestyle modification, with exercising, small things. Just like getting a weighted vest to walk around in. It doesn't have to be super heavy, but while you walking around the house cleaning up, put you a weighted vest on. Get you a small 5-pound. I got a 15-pound and that's heavy. So get you a small 5-pound. In the process of you sweeping, taking care of kids, you drop a few squats and you don't realize that you're building muscle. You're getting exercise in. Yes. So stuff like that are just little tips, but I will be coming back on here. Yes, I really need that for my sickle cell and just diagnosed venous insufficiency. So Felicia, cayenne pepper needs to be your best friend. Lemon, lime, citrus fruit that's not full of sugar needs to be your best friend right now. Even though this is what I want you to take in, Felicia, just because me or the doctor or anybody as a healthcare professional tells you something, that is not a final thing for you. That's your circumstance for right now. That doesn't have to be your circumstance next month. I need you if you got my tea, the blood cleansing tea, the berry blend blood cleansing, you can put those together. Put you a half a teaspoon, not a tablespoon of cayenne pepper and lemon. Lemon has something called hesperidin in it. Hesperidin is a natural blood thinner. Hesperidin is great for blood flow. Citrus fruit has that in there. You will be surprised what fruits and how wonderfully made, how our creator made our fruits and vegetables. So lemon, lime, cayenne. I want you to put that in your tea. Drink it 2-3 times a day. I want you to start walking. Get you a very small weighted vest. And when you're walking around the house or walking around at work, those are small things that you can do that make a heck of a difference over time. Just be consistent. Switch out your sweeteners. I want you to switch out to date syrup, stevia, monk fruit. Throw that white sugar away, except on Thanksgiving. Don't you show up with no sweet potato pie with no stevia in it. It's an exception for Thanksgiving and Christmas. But daily, those are some things that you can do. You said I have sciatica. So when it comes to sciatica, we want to figure out what is causing us to have a nervous system issue. Let's jump into it. So one thing that I know for a fact about our nervous system, I want you guys to start at A and work your way to Z. What makes our nervous system function? Let's start looking these things up and see what it says when I use peer scholarly reviewed journals and articles. But one thing that significantly affects your nervous system is vitamin B12, a lot of vitamin B, and magnesium. Now, remember this. There are so many different types of magnesium, and there are so many different types of vitamin B. That's why you hear B complex vitamins. So there's something else I want to tell you. Benfotiamine and alpha lipoic acid. Those are fat soluble vitamins. And I don't want to get too deep, guys, because I was really just jumping on here, but I do want to help you, so I'm going to explain this thoroughly. Benfotiamine and alpha lipoic acid are fat soluble vitamins, so they're going to absorb better also when you take them with more fatty foods. So I encourage people to eat avocado when you take fat soluble vitamins, or make a smoothie with avocado or little olive oil, because it does help. And so benfotiamine is a B1 fat soluble vitamin. I think it's in the family of like thiamine, I believe. And then alpha lipoic acid is also fat soluble. So those help your nervous system significantly. Neurologists, and you can look this up, neurologists absolutely swear by benfotiamine and alpha lipoic acid when you're having numbness and tingling in the hands and feet, sciatica, things like that. I hope that helps somebody. Absolutely. Cayenne pepper and lemon. If you're allergic to lemon, then I don't want you to, but lemon, if you're not allergic, has a bio compound called hesperidin, and it's great for blood flow. So when you start having beetroot, beetroot is something you want to incorporate in your diet. This is why I teach people to juice. Because lemon, beets, and apples. Apples have a bio compound called rutin in it that is good for your blood as well. So that would be a great juice for you. If you have blood sugar issues, you don't want to do a lot of apple, but just enough lemon, beet, apple, and berries. Fresh lemon. Try to start getting fresh fruit and vegetables as much as you can, especially when you're trying to correct something that's going wrong in your body. We don't want anything altered. We want plant-based, fresh, healthy weight loss soup besides cabbage soup, because the cabbage gives me gas. So I would say, why don't we do what about broccoli? Can you eat broccoli? Because broccoli is filling. What about doing a bean soup or pea soup? How are you with black eyed peas? How are you with like black eyed peas, mushrooms, chip up you some onion? If you like okra, some good seasonings like smoked paprika, garlic, onion powder, a little bit of chili lime, or something with a little spice. You're welcome, Felicia. Things like that. Maybe you can do soup that way. And maybe black bean or white bean or pea soup. Like I said, black eyed peas. Something like that would be a better option for you if you can't do cabbage. And then you could add you some broccoli in. Remember, this is another thing I want you guys to remember. Spices, as long as they're not full of salt, you can play with those spices and really flavor your food. To top it off, put you a little bit of pink Himalayan sea salt on top of like the smoked paprika, the garlic powder. Try to stay away from the garlic salt. Try to do garlic powder, onion powder. Try to do your, like I said, they got chili lime, mustard seasoning, garlic. You got cardamom. You got, depending on what you're cooking. But there's so many wonderful seasonings out there that are just plants, grinded up plants. And then you don't even need all that salt, So when you train yourself to start eating that way, I know, Popeyes is Popeyes is one of my favorite. Baby, I'll fight somebody over some Popeyes. You hear me? Popeyes is one of my favorite foods. But if I know I want my heart to be healthier, I want to live longer, I cannot be taking all that grease. It's hard for my body to break it down. And so when I do eat Popeyes, I try to follow up with like my detox tea, something to cut the grease, pre, pro, and postbiotic, maybe a little bit of vinegar in some tea, stuff like that, things to flush that grease out. And then you guys know I have my heart health support gummies. When you take products that are nitric oxide boosters, they open up those blood vessels so you can get better blood flow. If you do have grease in your pipes, cholesterol, start cleaning that out of there. That's why these are so good. Anything with beetroot and cayenne pepper, lemon to try to flush those pipes out. Get your blood vessels cleared out of all that grease and built up. And it takes time with exercise. Heating that body up. Think about it. When you heat your body up, and then after you work out, you take a nice cup of tea with lemon, all that has hesperidin in it, the cayenne pepper, then you got the blood cleanser, fabulous because it got the burdock root, it got the hemp seed, it has the japonica, it has all the great ingredients. And be consistent, you will see a difference. You will see a difference. You just have to be consistent. And it's not easy. We all have some backsliding moments when we, like, hey, I'm riding past Chick-fil-A, it's smelling good. Let me go get me a three-piece of these, whatever they sell over there. But you can't eat like that every day and don't think you're not going to end up having some heart complications, some blood vessel complications. That's just the way our body is made. We have to give it nutrients. So, does anybody have any other questions for me before I go? Those were some good questions. I am going to try to get more active on YouTube. I promise you guys, I am branching out now, and I'm going to try to get like a nice little setup and stuff so I can get more active on YouTube and be a little more professional on here, because I feel like I got a lot of information that people need to hear that would be very beneficial. Over these last 3 years of being a social media influencer, I learned a lot, and I know what our community needs for me to share. That helps, that I've seen the evidence of it helping me, my family, and a lot of you all as well. So does anybody have any other questions before I go? Please share out the YouTube. Share it out. I know I don't have many people in here because I'm new to YouTube, but share it out. And that's how we'll circulate, the information. But thank you guys so much for your time today. And I will see you again soon. Bye, guys. Take care, everybody.